We do have Spider-Man news. Actually, we have Sony news. It's not really Spider-Man news or Spiderman news. Spiderman. It's not really Spiderman news.
See, I got you addicted to saying
it's The Menace. Sony rethinking Spider-Man in the MCU? Writers explain Tom Hardy Venom. Confirming my theory about, and this is from Cosmic Book News. I apologize again. I'm bad at not listing the sites when I'm, you know what I mean? I'm not listing the sites.
Well, some people don't even say it, so you're fine.
Yeah. Okay. So this one's from Cosmic Book News and says, confirming my theory about Tom Hardy and Venom previously. My God.
Are you okay? Do you need to take 10?
Yes.
Okay.
We're starting over. You ready?
Yeah.
Confirming my theory about how Tom Hardy and Venom previously appeared in the MCU and in Spider-Man No Way Home, the writers of the flick offer up an explanation which is explained by the symbiote, and it's something that may hint at Sony's motivations about its Spider-Verse. Screenwriter Eric Summers and Chris McKenna... Wow. Hold on, I gotta look at something. Sorry, guys. I'm looking up something.
Brett just had a moment.
I did. Chris...
Boop, boop, boop. So how's everybody doing? Brett, it's typing.
Okay, it's not who I thought it was.
Oh.
I apologize. I was like, there's an actor with the Mark McKenna, I think might have been who I was thinking of. There was an actor with the name McKenna, and I was like, who? I was like, that guy writes movies too? My ADHD is ruining it for everyone. I apologize.
It's fine. You had a moment.
So screenwriter Eric Summers and Chris McKenna spoke with Variety about all those surprises and spoilers in No Way Home, touched upon Eddie Brock and Venom. It says, quote, speaking of biting, the screenwriters say that it's that including Eddie Brock and his alien symbiote Venom in the film's final battle was definitely discussed, so they were thinking about including him in No Way Home.
Yeah.
It was definitely discussed. The pair confirmed that Watts directed the post-credits tag on Venom Let There Be Carnage, which showed Brock zapped into the MCU, but Brock was ultimately relegated to the No Way Home post-credits scene instead. As for how a character who had never met any Peter Parker, let alone Spider-Man, could be pulled into the MCU by a spell specifically drawing people who knew that Peter Parker was Spider-Man, quote, that idea is that the symbiote has knowledge of other universes buried in his brain in some other knowledge of that connection. I also think that they said that the hive mind has something to do with that.
Yeah.
What is particularly interesting about the reveal is that Spider-Man director John Watts actually directed Venom 2 post-credit scene. We will see there was talk of using Venom in No Way Home's final battle, but for some reason the plug was pulled and Venom wasn't used and was sent back to his own universe. It seems to suggest that initially there was a bigger plan for Tom Hardy and Venom that may have been to include Venom in the MCU, which is suggested by the fact that the Venom 2 post-credit scene was directed by John Watts, meaning that the guy who directed Venom. So it says, recall how Venom 2's post-credit scene seemed to tease that Eddie Brock and Venom got snapped as they disappeared and then reappeared 5 years later, saw that Tom Holland's Spider-Man on the TV, and then teased that they were going to New York. However, that didn't happen, and in Spider-Man No Way Home's post-credit scene saw Eddie Brock stating that he didn't know who the Avengers are, and then Eddie disappeared, sent back to his own universe, which means Venom is not a part of the MCU. I think all of that was actually pretty poorly done for the average person. When everyone watched that post-credit scene, you had to kind of watch it a couple of times to understand what they were doing. It didn't make much sense to me at first. Maybe I'm just dumb. That's also a very strong possibility.
Yeah.
But it says it's possible there was a plan to bring Venom to the MCU that could easily have said that he was snapped and then brought Venom to New York in No Way Home on the post-credit scene, but for some reason that didn't happen. It's actually rumored now that Venom 3 will deal with the multiverse, and instead of bringing Venom into the MCU and connecting to Spider-Man through No Way Home, the Tom Holland Spider-Man instead will be brought into the Venom 3 movie through the multiverse, which more than likely means that none of the MCU characters will show up in Venom 3. So they don't need Sony. Sony doesn't need Marvel anymore. If you look at No Way Home, all of those villains were Sony villains.
Yep.
There were no other Marvel other than Happy, and I guess because
Happy's
is the only one that would have technically been an MCU character, right? Unless I'm forgetting one. Because Aunt May is a Sony character. Happy is a Marvel character.
No, that's pretty much it.
I think that's it. So they don't need... They really do not need to have... I would love to see a list of what characters Sony owns. to see how many movies or adaptations they could get out of those characters. I don't know how deep that catalog is, but it would be really really interesting to see if that was like something where they can make an entire universe out of that. Because like, who's the villain? Do you remember? Because I don't know if I ever finished Into the Spider-Verse. Who was the villain in Into the Spider-Verse?
Kingpin.
Okay, it was. Okay, and Kingpin is a not a Sony villain.
Nope.
Kingpin is now back with Marvel, not Netflix. So it makes no sense to let Venom make money for Marvel when they can just make money on their own and bring Spider-Man back, because technically Spider-Man is still Sony property. He's not Marvel property. Do it, Sony. Rebel. Yeah.
Rebel.
Well, I mean, just like I said, that just proves that they with everything Marvel did last year, Eternals, Shang-Chi, sorry, I always get that one wrong, Black Widow, all of those movies did okay, but not super great considering high budgets for those films. No Way Home exceeded expectations far, far, far and away more than any of those other films on its own, without almost any connection to the MCU, other than the fact that they had previously loaned out Tom Holland to them. But now that Tom Holland has been through the Marvel movies, he's got the pedigree. He doesn't need to be considered Marvel property anymore. They can just do their own thing.
Yeah.
Who would you like to see them use for Sony villain next?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Did you see that they're talking about like doing an Electro solo series?
Oh no, please no.
I know, right?
Actually, I kind of want them to bring Catwoman. Like, they have their own Catwoman.
Okay.
For Spider-Man. I don't know who came first. I think Spider-Man came first for that idea. It's Black Cat, I think.
Black Cat. Okay.
My bad. I said Catwoman, but
I was like, what?
Her name is Black Cat.
I would like to see. I don't know. I would like to see them do more with the villains they already have. I'm not sure if there's anything like. I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan.
Oh wait, you asked me what else Marvel character they use? Doctor Strange and Wong. The obvious two that we
Holy
missed.
crap, we're dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're dumb. Okay. but actually, one of the things I complained about when we were reviewing was I said that it's always felt like, up until No Way Home, that it always felt like Spider-Man was like a guest in his own movies.
Yeah.
In this movie, in No Way Home, I feel like he outshined Doctor Strange.
Exactly.
So I don't think they need the Marvel characters to make... I mean, he's still a Marvel character. He's just not a Marvel movie character.
Yeah.
They don't need the MCU to make Spider-Man work anymore. Venom on his own is doing extremely well.
Venom is really funny, even though I didn't like the second movie that much. I love it.
It's funny. Like, everyone I talk to is kind of like, but the movie did really well.
Yeah.
So it actually doesn't make any sense. Like, people are just like, they're just making kind of okay movies. I mean, Spider-Man No Way Home was far and away above okay.
Yeah.
But if you just make a good movie with no crappy marketing and no identity politics, people will go see it and take a generally positive view of it.
Yeah.
So that is, I think Venom, I mean, the fact that we haven't gotten a Venom and Spider-Man movie yet is kind of insane. But we're not going to get that until after...
Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire.
Okay, modern day Venom and Spider-Man movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know, but also, did you just see this, like, teaser poster that they dropped for Doctor Strange 2 showing off America Sanchez?
Chavez?
Oh, did I say Sanchez?
Sanchez.
My bad.
America Sanchez. That's not her name.
My bad. Chavez. So she's going to be the next Captain America.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that.
Have you read the comic books where she's in it?
No, I refuse to.
Okay, I read it and I kind of cringed because Loki is like young Loki. So it's the original Loki that we know now, but what happened was basically he de-aged and became young Loki. I'm
not reading Kamala Khan either.
What's Kamala Khan?
Oh, don't worry about it. We won't get into that.
Okay.
Fans, it says, I'm wondering if we always go off on our tangents.
Sorry, because I saw it as a pop-up.
Yep. They're also they're doing Ironheart too, right? They're doing Riri Williams. So, we'll see.
I'm not excited for that, but they could prove us wrong. Right?
I'm always open to being proven wrong. But the thing is like what'll happen is like these comic books have all been cringe, right? But by the time they make it to the movies, they're so watered down and different. It's gonna appeal to the lowest common denominator, which means it could come out all right. Like, meaning that it's like, it's not going to be great, but it won't be as annoying as the comic book adaptations of it. So it says, I'm wondering if Sony has now decided against the idea of connecting their Spider-Verse to the MCU, which could result in Kevin Feige's Phase 4 presently failing big time in theaters and on Disney+. John Watts may be done with Spider-Man as he is directing Fantastic Four for Feige.
No!
Yeah. That'll be interesting when the casting news starts coming out about Fantastic Four. I think John Krasinski's gonna be involved.
Okay.
Sony doesn't need Spider-Man to connect to the less popular and woke characters that Feige is going with his goofy MCU that are box office failures and can't bring subscribers to Disney Plus now that Avengers has been done away with. They're not box office failures. They're just not making as much money as they should, given the powerhouse the MCU is in the world right now. Eternals was god awful. I will say, like, Shang-Chi was fine. Eternals was one of the worst movies I've seen in a very long time. Fans don't want to see Spider-Man with Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, and the Eternals, which could only hurt the Sony Spider-Man brand. They want to see Spider-Man with Venom, Morbius, Kraven the Hunter, Black Cat, etc. There you go, Black Cat. And the other Spider-Man. Sony has Garfield, who is rumored to return. That would be so awesome if they give him a third movie or a series, like if they end up doing that. I think that's a possibility now. Like, this is one of the ways streaming and modern stuff has helped us. Like, in the past, nobody would have ever gotten that chance if the first two movies hadn't turned out well, to come back, 10 years later and have another shot at it. So it says, simply put, Spider-Man does not need the MCU anymore, and that's a good thing. I think they're right. I think the box office proves it, and I think that I didn't even think of Kraven the Hunter. There's a lot, and we're gonna see Morbius. So I'm so excited. There's a lot there that has nothing to do with the MCU that we can get excited about. They don't need to do that.
So do you think that for superhero movies, I think you said it, Sony's gonna be like the next powerhouse that can actually do it right?
Yep. I think if they keep on the road they're on right now, as far as like how they're presenting their movies and the way that they're going with their writing, meaning keeping it simple. Of course, they're in the origin story phases of like what do you call it? Of
Morbius.
Like, Morbius is an origin story. We're only in the second Venom movie, so like it's kind of that same theme I have like with TV shows, right? Where I said like once you get 2-3 seasons in, you have to worry about the writing getting bad. So Sony is still in the in the early writing stages of these projects, so it could go. They've got more time before things eventually start getting screwed up.
Well,
Marvel's got 10 years of baggage that leads to where it is now.
Yeah. Well, also, by the time when they make those movies, do you think we're gonna be dead by then?
When?
I don't know.
Which movies?
Like when they make like for movies, like if it's like
how long do you think you're gonna live?
I don't know.
What the hell are you talking about, woman?
We die a little bit each day.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.